Welcome to Gifted Underachievers, the podcast for mid-level creatives with delusional ambitions. In this segment, James tells Pat how his mixed contest results are providing solid data points for refining where his audience lives. This, he argues, is more valuable than simply submitting to literary journals. Bottom line, better targeting leads to better results, and James is getting better data.
Hey, James.
Yes, Pat. You notice the little echo?
No.
Well, that's because I'm in the Gifted Underachievers trophy room.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
great.
for some reason, this room is a little echoey.
Well, there's nothing on the shelves.
Yeah, I know. And the marble walls,
Yeah,
probably not the best material for
I know.
that room.
We should turn it into the cigar room or something, because
Yeah.
really, who needs a
Oh,
trophy
how
room?
about the Gifted Underachievers Super Ball room?
What's Super
You
Bowl?
just get like thousands of those little rubber super balls, and they're just constantly bouncing around.
Okay. Yeah, no.
And then we could get puppies.
That's
We
a
could
hard
call it
no.
the Puppy and Super Ball room.
If I had a map of this compound, I'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
Yeah, we'll put
asking
that
you.
out to a listener. We need a map.
We need a map.
Yeah, put your creativity to work and create a map for us.
Yeah, we pay nothing, by the way, so sorry
Yeah,
about
the
that.
payment is zero.
We're terrible. A couple of exploiters. Oh, speaking of being
Yeah.
exploited, how's the contest experiment going?
I'm going to say there's two ways to look at it. There's one very good and one not so great.
Okay, let's
Um,
let's hear them.
but the not so great, I have to work a little bit harder for
Hmm.
than it's going pretty good. And the reason why I have to work a little bit harder is because it's really just I didn't win anything yet kind of whiny, right? So I'm not gonna go there.
Okay.
Um, but so far I've been very circumspect, or have really not just said, "Oh, there's a contest I'm gonna go send out." I've been
Right.
really trying to really think about it,
Yeah.
and so I don't have a huge long list. So
Okay.
there's what, one, two, three, four, five so far,
Okay.
right? And um, and so far, only two have concluded and announced winners and finalists. And I was named a finalist
Wow.
for, and not nothing for the other,
The
which is,
finalists.
that's fine. And that the finalist one we've talked about, and that's where
Oh,
I
that
was
was that
one
one.
of 53. So it's a little bit of a mixed bag there. It's like during the grant experiment where you were named grantee, and then they ran out of money before they got to your name on the list.
Yeah.
So a win, but you know,
Yeah.
a little bit of an asterisk involved.
Yeah.
Um, but still that's good, right?
Yeah.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained. I can put it on, my list of stuff. It's a very recent little citation that I have for
Nice.
2020, end of 2025, which is good.
Yeah.
And then the other one, it really got me to do some deeper thinking about how I target my writing, which was really good.
Okay.
And for everything, and really thinking about like where have I published, where have I been able to succeed, not succeed, like what doors have just slammed. And the one thing that I've definitely learned and is MFA program, lit journals or contests, they don't exist for me.
Mm.
It's just for whatever reason I'm not writing what they're not my audience, right? And
Yeah.
this is not, I don't want this to be like a criticism or sour grapes. It's just a fact
Yeah.
that I have had like almost zero luck, not zero, but almost zero.
Hmm.
So that actually is good because that means I can save a lot of time. I can
Yeah.
save money because these contests are not cheap. I think of these five, the average price is probably around, yeah, it's probably around $20.
Mm.
So, that can get really expensive,
Yeah.
after a while.
No kidding.
But I'm
Yeah.
also finding that there's something just in terms of the kind of fun of sending out work.
Yeah.
Even though these are a little bit more expensive, it's a little bit more fun because you
Mm.
know you're going to get read, right?
Yeah.
Unless they're really pulling a scam.
Right.
You know you're going to get read as opposed to somebody kind of going, "Oh, I don't like the title." Boom.
Yeah.
Or this person's name is making me feel like I don't want to, kind of stuff. Like all
Yeah.
that weird, who knows what's going on behind the scenes kind of stuff. And then the other thing that I've noticed is I tend to do much, 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 much better in Europe than I do
Mm.
in North America.
Interesting.
So, so that's got me to really think about in terms of sending out stories and entering these contests and these kinds of things is how can I refine my audience?
Yeah.
And so one, it's not necessarily that I shouldn't send stories into North America, but it's just I'm gonna have a little bit better chance if I go to Europe with a
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have a much better chance if I just exclude MFA program related, you know,
Journals.
stuff.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that it's, avoid people with MFAs. It's just that the way that they do the initial readings and that kind of thing, just it's not working.
Hmm.
So, it's hard to place value on being able to sort of to have that refined sense of where your audience lives, but I
Yeah.
think it's pretty high. I mean,
I think it's high. Yeah.
yeah,
That
and
makes a
and
ton of
there's
sense.
and one of the things that's always very hard about when you're just sending out to literary journals as opposed to contests is there's so many other variables that get worked into
Yeah.
that it's hard to take out data that has any actual meaning unless you
Right.
get published somewhere.
Yeah.
And so the contests, in a weird way, have been helping me refine that and providing a little bit more data
Yeah.
than I would have otherwise gotten.
Oh, that's
So,
amazing because data is allows you to shape your your response, your next actions. If you have some kind of metric that you can look at, then you can absolutely adjust your behavior, you know?
hmm hmm
Yeah.
Yeah, and that saves money ultimately too, because, I'm not sending $20 to places where, it's just not going to work.
Seems also that it would make it more kind of interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I'm increasing the likelihood of having a positive outcome. And I define positive outcome not as winning, right? Because that's just too,
Yeah.
you know, ephemeral. Positive outcome is really anything that's positive, like getting good feedback, finalist, even if you're one of a large number, making the first cutoff,
Hmm.
really anything that just shows that you were read and valued and accepted,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
So,
It's part of the whole landscape. You would think that people who've been writing for decades, wouldn't that wouldn't really uh, would have kind of transcended that situation, but that situation exists for writers at all levels and at
mhm.
all experience points on the spectrum because it is so subjective and because the
Yeah.
world changes, publications change, what editors are looking for changes. So you're
Mhm.
never guaranteed. It's not an upward trajectory like some fields. It's always going to be
Right.
up and down, up and down, up and down. I think most creative industries are,
Yeah.
some more than
And
others.
And the other, when I first started, I was always looking for that one person who could say, this is good, this is not good. Here's why you're getting published. Here's why you're not getting, give you all those answers to
Yeah,
the questions that you don't, that you have. And you learn that, there really isn't that person. Anybody can, there's a lot of people who are very qualified to give you their opinion and evaluation. But it really doesn't get into the mindset of the group of people at a specific publisher or publication and why they choose one thing over another.
totally. Yeah.
You know?
It's always
So,
going to be a black box. I mean, a lot of it's about reading sensibility, and that's something that no outsider can tell you.
mhm. Yeah, and that, subjectivity piece is, as Richard Kelly Kemick
Hmm.
was very, very, very good about pointing out is, being part of a group in a contest, as a contest judge
Yeah,
and feeling like this manuscript should win, but everybody else saying no. And, that's how it went. And
yeah.
so that, you just don't know.
You just don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds pretty positive. So you've got one that you're waiting to hear back from, and do you have others that you're going to send stuff into, or are you taking a
Well,
break?
I have others that I'm waiting. I have three others that I'm waiting to hear back from.
Okay.
And I'm being thoughtful about where I send.
Hmm.
So I'm not. It's not like I'm trying to hit a weekly target
Yeah.
for I've out to this many places. It's more like I have pipelines for where I find out about contests,
Yeah.
and when I see one that I think, ooh, this feels like it's in my zone,
Yeah.
then I'm gonna send and they become part of the experiment. And,
Fantastic.
hopefully another data point.
Yeah. Great. I think it's got lot more long-term viability than our grant experiment did because it does not require a huge outlay of time to write grant proposals.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you're just taking stuff you've already written.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And there's not, it's like it's very simple. Brief little cover letter,
Yeah.
brief little bio, and off it
Off it
goes.
goes.
So how about you? Any,
Uh,
any updates?
I've got one in the works. Let me see. So by the end of November, I had started applying to three, and then I ended up actually sending it into one. For
Hmm.
December, the almost all, well, they all blew by, and it's kind of a bummer. One of them I didn't qualify for. Uh, Two of them I probably would have, but I did not make the cutoff because I was frantically working on paid work. So
Yeah.
there's another one. I have three opportunities in January, and then I'm going to reapply for that grant in February just as an outlier because I don't really
Yep.
need to do much except change the grant application that already exists. So I would say the one I have outlying, like that's still out there, they said 6 months, and you will definitely hear back one way or the other after six
Hmm.
months. So that the deadline was November 30th, and I guess I'll hear back maybe at the end of
Yeah.
May or
I would
April.
say that's another benefit. As we're speaking and thinking, it's seeing ways to use these contests for more than just did I win, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
To really do more assessment. And then the other nice thing is you can send off to a when I look at my submittable page,
Yeah.
I have stuff from 2023 that I haven't heard back on yet.
Jesus Christ.
But for the contest, they have hard and fast deadlines where they're going to announce, a
Yeah.
winner
They kind
or
of have to, right?
finalists and all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. So, and some of them are very, very specific, like March 15th.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So
Yeah.
you're not waiting endlessly for somebody to get around to reading what you've sent,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is good.
Which is great. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Well, thank you.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah, I'm a bum. Yeah, I think that's great. I believe that we will get farther with this contest. I mean, with this experiment than we did with the previous one. But the previous one has taught us some really good lessons. So at the very least, we'll get that out of this one too.
Yep, good. Yeah. And yeah, I'm feeling positive about the experiment
Good.
because I think we're gonna have results that we can interpret. Whereas the grant experiment just sort of felt like a lot of work, the results were uninterpretable and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. And then your government pulled all its funding from grants.
yeah,
So
and then our government pulled all the
yeah.
funding. So oh
Um,
yeah. Oh boy.
so instead of this trophy room, maybe what we should have is just like something else.
Yeah, a giant golden ballroom.
For fuck's sake. Okay. I give up. Your delusional ambitions extend to the clubhouse.
No, no, I think we can add on to the library. I think,
All right.
maybe we can sell naming rights to a new wing of the Gifted Underachievers Clubhouse Library.
Okay, well, you know what I would like to do with the marble-lined room? Why don't we have a steam shower in there?
Oh, that's perfect. And a sauna.
I love a steam sauna. Love.
Yeah, a sauna.
Well, then we can
We gotta learn how to
detoxify.
say it like the Finns.
Did they say sauna?
Yeah, they have a great way of saying it, and they're very into sauna, but they have it like sauna or sauna. I don't
You know
know.
what?
It's really great. It's awesome.
I don't care how they say it. I love them so much. This
yeah.
saunas,
they're-
not the Finns. Finns are okay.
Well, I like the Finns too. They're
Yeah, okay.
they're good.
I'm sure they're great.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Thanks for listening to Gifted Underachievers, the podcast for mid-level creatives with delusional ambitions. We'd love to hear how we're doing, so please leave a comment, join our chat page, or send us an email at giftedunderachievers@substack.com. You can find us on Spotify, iTunes, and anywhere else you like to download your podcasts. Also, please hit the share and or subscribe button. It really does help. And please, have an awesome day and a Happy New Year.